Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Gabriel. In this video, we shall start paper 2, document production, databases and presentations. But as you can see, I have highlighted databases. So specifically, this video will be on databases. If you want to see what I did in document production, you can see the previous video where we explain excellently how you can perform the document production task. Now, let's come back to databases. Don't forget, this is paper 2, variant 2-1, May-June 2021. Typically, paper 2 lasts for 2 hours, 15 minutes. So we are looking at databases. We should spend roughly about 40 to 50 minutes on this maximum. So let's continue. Databases is the task we want to do right now. So task 3, database. You are now going to prepare a report. Dates must be imported. Please take note of this in the format DMY, day, month, and year. Make sure all required data is fully visible, so nothing should be hidden. Use database software to import the file J2521 learners.csv as a notable. Now, to import, the instruction has told you using a database software. Depending on the database software you have on your computer, I have Microsoft Access as a database software installed on my computer, so I'm using that. So the first thing I do is to launch the Microsoft Access. Okay, beautiful. So I will create new blank database. Before I save it, I may want to save it in the folder that I'm working in. I'm working in June 25 folder, so I'm going to save this as database tax 3. All right, so I click OK, then click on create. So the question again says import the file learners as a notable. Now you see the file format of the file, which is CSV. A CSV file is a text file. Take note of that. You see where that is useful. Now I'll go to import. I'll go to external data, new data source. Since I'm importing to the database, then I'll go to file. Then I'm going to pick text file. Why? Because it's a CSV file. So a CSV file is a text file, comma separated value. So then I click on text, browse. Then I locate the source file folder. My source file folder is on my desktop. So here is it. So learners. So I click on that. Open. It will be on import. Okay. When I have this, it's delimited. That is, it's comma separated. Next. First row contain field names. Then I click on advanced. It is very important to do the advanced here. So the question says that you should use DMY, day, month, year. You see that in the question, DMY. So then I would cross-check the field names and data type for each of them. So surname till gender is text. I'll confirm that is done. Text, text, text. Then let's go to learner number. Learner number is number. What type of number? Is integer. You can see that integer. So and DOB is date/time, and the format, the display is DD-MMM-YY. Okay, so I have to do it so that I can display this way. So now this is integer, this is date, then telephone is text, CAA code. As you can see, telephone is text, so I change this one to short text till AA code. AA code is text. Then online application is as you can see, Boolean or logical, and it should display as yes or no. So I'm going to pick Boolean. Access calls Boolean yes or no, so I pick yes or no, as you can see here. Then I click OK. Next. Then the next thing is set learner number as the primary key. Primary key is a field that uniquely identifies every record. So learner number, so I click here and I pick learner number. As you can see, next, then I finish importing this file. Now after I'm done importing this file, I can close this table 1, right click on it and go to design view. It is important to come to design view That's where you perfect the formatting. What are those things we want to do there? We make sure that learner number is integer. Okay, learner number is integer. You can see field size integer. We can leave it on long integer or just an ordinary integer. Okay, you see that. So let me leave it on long integer. Then the next one is DOB. It should display as DD-MMM-YY. So I will go to DOB, and under format I will pick DD, okay, MMM. So what format is that? I can just type it DD hyphen triple M hyphen YY. Okay, beautiful. So I've done that for the format. You notice that my cursor is on DOB before I came here to do that. It is very important. Then the next one is online application to display as yes or no. So I will go to online application, and under format I want it to display yes or no. But before I do that, I'll come to lookup. It's on text box. So I'm going to change this one to text box so that I can display yes or no. After that, I come back to general, and you see it's displaying yes or no. In case the question asks you next time to display as true or false or on or off, you can see that, but yes or no is the question. After that, right click to save, then go back to normal view. Then everything would have been done, yes or no. You can see beautiful work done here. Then the next one is save the data, then place in your evidence document a screenshot showing the field names, data type, and primary key used, which is for 4 marks. So what I'll do is I'll come here, go to design view, then I'll take the screenshot, all of this. After I have saved, right click to save, then I press the print screen key on my keyboard, and I pick all of this, then copy, go to the evidence document, then I paste this, so it will show all of that. Then the next is import the file J2521 access.csv. is a CSV file again as a notable in your database. Set all data type to text and set AA code as the primary key. So this is also beautiful. So I'll just go back, save this, go back to normal view for this, go to external data, import a new file, text, then what's the new file, access. So I click on access, open, okay, next. First row contain field names, advanced, DMY, and the question says set all the field names to the data type to text rather. So I say okay, next, next, then set AA code as a primary key. So choose my own primary key, AA code. You can see that here, AA code. Then next, next. That is done. I'll click OK. So I can click on access, go to design view to see the way it looks like, and see if everything is done. So the next thing the question says we should do is said place in your evidence document a screenshot showing field names, data type, and primary key used. So I will come here, take the screenshot of this to show the learner code. I can even do it this way, close this one for now so that only the access will show. So then I will pick this, good. All right, copy, go to the evidence document and paste this as step 16 evidence. Beautiful. Then the next one, I'll go back to the question. I've done all of this and do step 17. Examine the file J2521 class and identify the most appropriate data type to use as a primary key. Then close this file. Now, you see the way the instruction has come. Examine the file first before you import it. So you can do it in different ways. I can go to the file, then class. So I'll open class. By default, it will be open using a spreadsheet package. But looking at this, all the data, which one is the best field to use as primary key? Since primary key must uniquely identify every record. That is what the question is saying. It said, examine class and identify the most appropriate data to use as a primary key. So let's see any of this that is not repeated. You see that year group repeated, class tutor, is repeated because we can see Mr. Jensen is repeated many times. And the best is we look for something that can easily identify every record. So if you look at this, is Mr. Phillips. Okay, let's see whether this one is repeated. None of this is repeated, but of course, if you look at class ref, none of this is repeated. If you look at it carefully, and this might be the best field to use for the primary key. So for me, I'm going to pick class ref, okay, as a field to uniquely identify every record here. So because this is talking about class ref, okay, this is repeated. Okay, house code, you can see this, something repeated, Nelson, house color will be repeated definitely, house leader. Okay, so the best is class ref anyways. So I'm going to close this. I don't need to save it since I didn't tamper with it. So now that I know what to use, I go back. Since I'm done with this, I can close this, go to external data, new data source, go to new data source, from file, text file, and pick browse and pick class, because that's what we're doing. Class, open, okay, delimited, comma separated, next, first row contain field names, go to advanced, change this to DMY according to the instruction. So what's the next thing? It said year group should be number, integer, others are text. Year group is integer, others are text, and this is correct. So say okay, next, then primary key, like I've chosen class ref as the primary key to use, so I pick class ref, next, then we have this, and we say finish. Beautiful. Close. Now I can open the class, go to design view to see it, then if there's anything to set, I set. So what's the next instruction? So select the most appropriate field to create the primary key, which I have already done. Save the data. Place in your evidence document a screenshot showing the field name, data type, and primary key used for 2 marks. So what I'm going to do is to take the screenshot of this. Since I've chosen the correct primary key, you notice that while I'm taking the screenshot, I pick the primary key symbol. It's very important. So I copy it, then go paste it in the evidence document. That's step 17. That is pasted. Now the next thing is create a one-to-many relationships as the links, one-to-many relationship as the links between the AA code field in the access table and the AA code field in the learners table. So I'm going to pick that access table, learners table. So I'll come here, save this. I may close this tentatively. Go to database tools, click on relationship, access. I double click it to open the access. What's the second table, please? That is learners table. Learners table. Then the question say I should use AO code field. So I'm going to drag from AO code to, let me confirm that. Okay, let me open up this so that I can see it. Okay, AA code field, drag it and drop it on AO code field here. So this is one-to-many. So you can see that is done. So I'm going to say create. So that is done. Then the next one says that create a link between the primary key field in the class table and the class code field in the learners table. Class table and learners table. So I'm going to this learners table. So I'll click on class table, and then the question says pick the primary key field in the class table. The class table, I use class ref as the primary key, so I click on it. Then and the class code field in the learners table, class code view, this class code view. So I'm going to drag this class code on this one-to-many. You can see that. Then click on create. So I've created the relationship between the two tables. Now the question says place in your evidence document screenshot showing the one-to-many relationship between the 3 tables. Okay, so I can do it one after the other. So maybe I will do between these 2 tables first. Double click it, let this one-to-many show. I put it here and I take the screenshot for this, screenshot for these 2 first. Okay, one-to-many showing. Beautiful. I'll copy it, paste it in the evidence document. Then I'll take for the other. Okay, then I say okay. I'll double click these two so that this one-to-many can show for these two again, and I'll take the screenshot. So the screenshot for these two again will be taken, copy, then I go paste it so that I've taken for the 3 table. Now the next thing is just say okay, right click on this, save, and close the relationship. Now what's the next thing? I've done this for 1 mark. The next thing is step 19. Add the following as a new record in the learners table. So I'll go to the learners table. To add a new record, you can just click on no here, or scroll down, click on this arrow with this yellow new blank record. So when I click on it, then I begin to fill in the data. So the first thing is the name of the son name, which is Norris. Emma is the full name, son name Norris. So I also make sure I type it correctly, Emma. Then gender, let me see, female. Okay, you have to type it correctly. Then learner number, I'm going to make sure that I copy that instead of typing so that I don't make any mistake. Learner number. So I'll paste it. Then date of birth should be 10/07 2009. I'll copy that. 10/07 2009. 07 is the month, so I'm going to say 10/07 is July 2009. All right, then the next one is telephone number. I'm going to copy that so I don't make a mistake. Telephone number, paste. The next one is email. That will be Emma Norris. I'll copy these two. The next one is class code, which is 4R. 4R. The next one is AA02. AA02. Okay. Then the next one is online application, which is no. Okay. Online application, which is no. So that is done. So be sure that you have typed it in correctly. So right click to save. Beautiful. Then the next thing is step 20. So using field from all the tables, and how many tables are in the database? 3 tables. Produce a tabular report. The question will ask you to produce a report. So you must know that in producing a report, the first thing you create is a query so that you can combine data from all the 3 tables, because the question says from all the tables. So I'm going to create a query first. Right click to save this, go to create, then I'll click on query wizard, then I'll pick simple query wizard. Okay, from all the tables. So from learners I pick all, from class I pick all, and from access I pick all. Next. So I may decide to call this query step 20. Okay, step 20, just for identification purpose. Okay, and here is the query. So now I go to the design view, just like the table. You can go to the design view of the query and you can see the 3 tables here. Okay, beautiful, and all the data in there. Okay, so you know that you have done the right thing. So what's the first thing the question is asking? Let's see. The question asks that select the records where gender is female. Gender is female. So I look for gender is female. So I'm going to type female here. Then if I run it, you see it has only picked female. Okay, from about 400 and something. So it has filtered it to 291, as you can see. Then the next one is access arrangement includes the text time. When the keyword is include, that means you're going to put asterisk time asterisk. That is anywhere time is appearing under access arrangement. So let's go to access arrangement and see access arrangement. Access arrangement. Here is it. Anywhere he has time, you should pick the one with time. That is what it means. Access arrangement. There is time here. Okay, anyway. So I'll go to design view again and go to access arrangement. Access arrangement. Here is it. In the criteria row, then you type asterisk time asterisk, then run it and see what you get. Okay, now you have 42 records. Okay, 42 records. It has only picked where we have time. If you go to access arrangement, anywhere there is time, okay, time, either at the beginning or at the end. Then the next one is it shows only the fields learner, forename, surname, and this, then do not group data. Okay, so for me to do that, what I do is I'll save this query, then I go to create, then I go to report wizard. So I'll make sure that the report is based on the query that I named step 20. So I begin to pick the field in this order. Shows only the fields learner number, forename, surname, learner number, forename, surname, then which again, DOB and gender, DOB, gender. What next? Year group, class code, year group, class code. Double clicking, you can see that. Then what's next? Access arrangement and online application. Access arrangement and online application. Access arrangement and online application. Good. So I've picked that. So the next thing is by saying next. Now, do you remember that the question says do not group data? So now if selecting is by this, the data would have been grouped by what? Access arrangement. If it was like this, it would have been grouped by year group. But they said do not group data. So it should be based on this learner. You see everything is on the same level. So I click next, next. So the question asked me to sort the data into ascending order, but there's a better place where I ask candidates to sort in. So I'm going to leave sorting here and say next. So the question says tabular report. So I leave it on tabular. So I leave this. The question also say it should be landscape orientation. So I'm going to pick this landscape orientation. You remember that I skipped this just now. Okay, so I'll come back to that. So I'm going to do the landscape orientation. Okay, sorry, landscape orientation. So I go there, I pick landscape orientation. Next, then what title do you want for the report? You see the title. They said it fits a single page wide and print on 2 pages only. So I'm going to do that too. Then it has a title, access arrangements, includes the title. As I do, so I'm copying this. So for the fit on a single page wide, so all what I will do is fit on a single page wide. If you see that, that's why this is selected. Adjust the feed width so all fit on a page. So next, then the title for the report, I will paste what I just copied. Access arrangement to be scheduled. Finish. Yes, this is the report. So while the report is being selected, I like to set my paper size. Since I'm using A4, it's a good practice for me, ensuring that nothing is overlapping or breaking at the edges of the paper. So then the next thing will be to go arrange my work. But before I do, you remember I skip sorting into ascending order of access arrangement. So the first thing I have to do now is to quickly sort it. The sorting I skipped just now. So all what I will do is I'll come here. Now look at different 4 views that we have. So I'll go to the layout view. On the layout view, I'll come to report layout design. You'll see group and sort. So click on group and sort. you see the sort button. So you click on the first one, add the sort. So what's the first thing you want to sort by? The question says sort the data into ascending order of access arrangement. So I'll pick access arrangement. Okay, so add the field for sort access arrangement. Ascending order means that with A on top. So the access arrangement would have been sorted with A on top. You can see that. Okay, beautiful. Then the question says and descending order of year group. So I will say add another sort, year group, descending order. Descending order means from largest to smallest for year group, and you see that the year group has been sorted in that order, 12 down to 1, 10 for year group. So having done that, that means I have completed the sorting, so I can close this dialog box. So the next thing will be for me to align my data properly. This is what you have to do manually. It is very important so that you don't lose marks. So I start from the edges, click on the header here, press that control key on my keyboard and click the one immediately under it. That is what we call multiple selection all at once, so that I can open it up just this way, online application, then click on this one, align it a bit to the left, beautiful, so that it will not overlap with this other one, beautiful. Then this one's still hiding. Okay, beautiful. Okay, online application, so nothing should be hidden. Okay, nothing should be hidden. Okay, let me start with this also. Click this, open it up, nothing should be hidden. So take this one to this side, nothing should be hidden. Learner number, beautiful. Then this, beautiful. Then this, so then this, date of birth, then this, gender, then this, year group, beautiful, then this, class code, then this, class arrangement, so do this, and this, all right, nothing is hidden. Okay, so I can even arrange this. Okay, good. So okay, beautiful. So nothing is hidden from here, as we can see. Okay, then having done this, then you go back to the question. You see that I had to do it carefully. So the question says using a function fit on a single page wide and prints on 2 pages. Let me quickly set that. So let me go to print preview. In the print preview, I have it. Okay, you see wide for the width, a page, and for the height, 2 pages. You can see it. This is beautifully done. Okay, then the next thing is to go do the function. Use a function to display the date of birth of the youngest student. and place this at the end of the report. Okay, so date of birth of the youngest students. How do you know the youngest students here? So let me go back to layout view. The youngest students means that the one that has the youngest date of birth. So the youngest simply means minimum year. So what I will do is I'll click on this detail of date of birth, then you see totals will be active. So if I click on this, total will not be active. So if I click on this, it will be active. Then I pick the one that has the minimum value. Are you following that? So that is if I want to use buttons. But if I want to write the code in the design view, this is what to do. So as you realize that clicking on this, you click on the totals. Minimum is supposed to be active and it's not. So, but the question has specifically said using a function. That means you go and write the function. So if you want to write the function, you write that in the design view, like I said earlier. So what you just need to do, go to the design view, then open up open up this report footer, because function has to be placed under, on the report footer. You open it up, you see the way I open it up, it was like this, then I open it up just this way. Then you'll be on report design, then you go and click on text box. Text box is for writing function and formula in the database report footer. So you click on it, then you drag it open under DOB, since the question says we should do it for DOB. So you click it open, click inside of this and start your function with equal to, then you type the function. So the function to use for this is actually min, for minimum, because from all the date of birth you want to pick the one that is minimum, that is the youngest one. So know the youngest date of birth. So you open the parentheses. When you open the parentheses, since the field you want to reference is DOB, every field in the formula or function starts with angle bracket. So you open the angle bracket and type DOB and close the angle bracket first before you close the parentheses. That is that simple. Please take note of this part. Very simple, straightforward. So you are using, if the question had asked you to find the date of birth of the oldest student, so the function you start with would have been max, for maximum. That is the highest date of birth here. But in this case, it is the lowest or youngest date of birth here, and that's what you have written. So now the next thing is, the question says that it has a label called DOB of youngest student. So let me copy this, which is fully visible to the left of this date. So you can see that when I click on text box and I drag it open, we saw two parts of it. So this way you put the text. So click here and paste what I've just copied, DOB of youngest student. So move it to the left of the function you just created, DOB of the youngest student. Okay, beautiful. So after this, before you do any other thing, I will advise you to go to print preview to see whether that has actually happened. This is the print preview. Let me zoom it in. Okay, this is page 1. Go to the next page. Of course, they say, oh, beautiful. The date of birth should appear at the bottom of the report under DOB. You can see that at the bottom under DOB. Now, one thing is important for you to earn 100% in this question. You see that the date has been formatted to DDMMMYY. Okay, so you have to format this date also. So what you do, go back to design view, click on this after it has worked, then open your property sheet, right, and go to format to format this. It is very important that you have to format it. So on the format, click inside, instead of general date, just type DD-MMM-YY. Okay, after you're done, you notice that before I typed it, I click on this to make it active. So it was thereafter I came to format and I typed the format. Then can you go to print preview to see the way it displays now? Print preview, last page. Can you see it's displaying exactly like other ones, so that there will be consistency. That is very important. So the next thing I just need to do is to align this Okay, beautiful, beautiful. So having done this, then I can do other things the question is asking me to do. What are the other things? They said he asks your name, center number, and candidate number in the footer of the report, so it appears in the same position on every page. Your name, center number, and candidate number. So let me do that. I'll go back to design view again. Here's design view. So if you want it to appear on every page, that will be page footer. You can see page footer is different from report footer. Every page. So I'm going to use label to write that, not text box. Text box is for function and formula. So I click on label. So I drag it open here. All right, to type in my name, candidate name, center number, and candidate number. Okay, so having done that, go to print preview and see whether that has been done. You can see candidate name, center number, candidate number on every page in the same position. So that is beautiful. So having done that, the next thing is just to format your work so that it looks professional, presentable. So I can close this for now. So like I normally do, I'll go to layout view, select this, come to format, just bolding this, change the font color to automatic so that it can look sharp. Select all of this too, then I format it again, format so that it looks sharp, bolding, beautiful. All right, so this I can move it a bit. Okay, beautiful. I think this look cool. Then I'll do it also for this. Click on this, bold, automatic. I do this, bold, automatic. I do it for name, center number, candidate number too, so that it can look so sharp. So I'll make sure nothing is hidden here, so I can move this a bit. Okay, so that it doesn't overlap. Beautiful. Click on this to nothing so that it doesn't overlap. Beautiful. You can see that. So then I can go to print preview to see the way it looks like. Oh, beautiful. So look at the way it looks. Okay, beautiful. So I can still go back and adjust this a bit, so that this will not overlap. Okay, beautiful. So I go to print preview and see the way it looks. This is page 1 of it. Then I go to next to see page 2. Beautiful. Everything is done well. So what's the next thing? Save and print your reports. So what I'll do, right click to save. Then from here, on the print preview, I'll just click on print. Then I click OK. Then it will be printed from my printer. So that's that. Then the next thing is place in your evidence document a screenshot showing the database formula used to find the youngest student. Make sure this formula is fully visible. So I'll go take the screenshot for this. So I'll go back, then I'll go to design view to take the formula. So you click on it, let it be wide open, nothing should overlap. Then you take the screenshot to show the formula used. So copy and go paste it in the evidence document. Click here and paste the evidence. Okay, beautiful. Okay, you can drag it open. So then the next thing is you have done all of that for 10 marks for the database, the first part of the database. So that is beautiful. So having done this, I'll go back, right click on this, save, then close this for now, close this for now, close this for now. So let's continue with database question. Now, step 21, using fields from all the tables, produce labels. Using fields from all the tables again, produce labels. Labels are a type of report in a database. So you create it the same way you create report. Okay, so I'll go create that. This is step 21, using field from all the tables. So I'll come here, go to create, and create query for us. Simple query wizard. Okay. And from all the tables, where are the tables? The first table, learners. I pick learners. The next table, I pick access. The next table, I pick class. Beautiful. Next. So I would like to call this step, according to this step 21. You see, I told you for identification the other time, step 21, this is another query, unlike the first query I created as step 20. So finish. All right, here is a new query. So the next thing is select the records where AA code is AA01. Okay, so I'll go to design view, right click, design view, where AA code is under I'll look for the AA code. AA code is under access. AA code is under access. So here is AA code. Beautiful. So where AA code in the criteria row, what I'm putting there is AA01. So I'm going to type AA01. So I'll run it and see. Oh, I got 19 records. Beautiful. And you can see that where AA01, you can see that. Then the next one is class code includes the number 5 or 6. Include 5 or 6. Includes. So that is class code. So I go to class code, design view. Class code is under class. So I go to class code. Here is class code. You can see class code. Class code is under learner. You see that? Learner. So learner class code. Here is class code. Beautiful. Criteria row. Where class code include the numbers 5 or 6. So include will be asterisk 5, asterisk, or asterisk 6, asterisk. Then I run it and see. Wow, you can see that I have 13 records. Class code 5 or 6. Here is it. 5 or 6 class code. Where is class code? You can see that. Okay, beautiful. This 5 or 6. You can see up through. So then, having done that, they said they are sorted in descending order of learner. So I can do that here. Learner number. So learner number is under learner for learner table, learner number. Yes, class code, gender, learner number. So sort in ascending order of learner number. Oh, sorry, descending order. Okay, it's good to read the instruction clearly. Descending order. So having done this, go to run it. All right, can you see that is done in descending order of learner number? So where is learner number? Here, let me check. Okay, descending order. You can see that is done. So right click to save. So having done this, the next thing the question is asking us, use this selection to produce labels. So to produce labels, so with this now, right click, save, and go straight to create. Now, instead of coming to report wizard, then you come to labels. So click on label. So the label will be based on this step 21 query, since this is the most active, this is the active object before you came to labels. So what you do now, we'll make sure that they said it should have 2 columns and 4 rows with 8 labels to the page. So for the 2 columns, we'll make you pick number across of 2. That's the first thing, number across of 2. And they gave you an example. Each label size 99.0 millimeter wide by 67.7 millimeter high. Okay, so if you want to do that, you have picked number across. You can say customize. Okay, if you customize, then you go to new and call it June 25 tax 3, just to give it a name. And then having done that, you say okay, then you set the dimension. So for the height, according to what they gave us here, they said the label size should be 99.0 millimeter wide. Okay, is this in millimeter or centimeter? This is so you can on English, that is okay, centimeter, 9.90 centimeter. For the width, 9.90 for the width of the label. So this is the width of the label. You can see this is the width of the label, 9.90. So we can edit this, 9.90. Okay, 9.90. You may ask that why did I pick this? Because it's on English, so that will be in centimeter. You can see 9 of the label. Then which one again? The height will now be 6.77. So this is the height, 6.77. That is set. So they didn't really say anything about merging. This is merging, this is merging. So the same thing that you have done for here is what will affect this. Okay, so what else? So you can just say the number across, I've picked 2. That is why we have 2 columns, column 1, column 2. So I can say okay, sorry, number across 2 here, 2. So if I do the same thing here, you realize that it will be the same thing that it will have. So having done this, I will say okay. You can see that that is just simple. So with this now, I can close. So June 2025 task 3 is the name. Then I can say next. Okay, I can say next again. So what is the thing they ask us to pick? They said print in portrait with a page size of A4. Portrait. So I think portrait, there's a way you can show me portrait, customize again. I think I saw that portrait. Okay, I mean, sorry, it's on portrait already. Portrait. What else again? With a page size of A4. The paper is A4. Okay, and that is picked automatically, or if I want to change it, you'll see the dimension I said the other time. You can see 6.77, and that is done. So I said A4. You can see the paper A4, and I go to close. So next. So after that, the next thing will be that display the data. I will come back to this portrait orientation that I just did to explain some things for that. Display the data for each field, left aligned with the layout as shown in the following sample label. So display the data for each field. So it's the data for each field. So access arrangement. So I'm going to do access arrangement. So to pick that access arrangement is the first thing. So I will come here, access arrangement. Okay, click on it. You can see the sample. The question says the data. If you say with the field, so I would have typed it first of all. After access arrangement, press enter to go to the next line. I think that's the way the question is. Learner number. So I'll go to learner number, learner number, learner number, then enter again. The next thing is forename, then surname, forename, then surname, forename, space, then surname, then enter. You can see the sample there. The next one is DOB, enter. Then the next one is a class code hyphen class tutor, class code, then hyphen class tutor. Beautiful. Then after that, we have just done this. Have your name, center number, and candidate number on the left at the bottom of each label. So I can put at the bottom of each label your candidate name. Let's read that again. Your name, center number, and candidate number. Your name, center number, and candidate number. Okay, you see that I just typed that according to the instruction. Next. So what name would you like for the label? Just call it labels for step 21 and say modify. Okay, here is the label. Now you may be wondering, why is it looking like this? I'll tell you why. The first thing you need to do, you remember I told you I will come back to this. The question says we should pick A4 size of paper. So I'm going to go to page setup, portrait, then size A4 for the paper. You can see A4. So having done that, the next thing that you consider is that they said the number across is going to be 2. So before you can see the number across, you go to print preview. If it says this, say okay. Can you see? It's not number across of 2 yet. So what you will do is simple. Go back to design view. You drag this to this side a bit to reduce this, and do that from here too a bit. To see, you have to drag it up a bit to reduce. Okay, just a bit, and see. Go back to print preview. You will say this, say okay. All right, it's not showing the number across, so but it has shown how many to the page. The question say 8, so that means you are going to have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So to have the 4, I will drag this down a bit just to have 4. Let's count again. I have how many now? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's 4 already. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think that is close now. So while you go there again, go to print preview, say okay. Then columns for number across. Number of cross we have picked is 2. So it's supposed to show this is this size we have created for a column width. That should work. Let me check that. So now we have 4 for the row, so it remains the column. So just go check the column, click on this. Okay, number of column is correct. So why it's not showing, I'll show you now. You see, come back to design view. The first thing you do is that click on any of these item, Ctrl A to select all, then bring your cursor down here and drag this to the kind of center here. After that, then move the entire paper, drag it also to this, then go to print preview to see whether it's showing 2 columns. Oh, beautiful, it's showing 2 columns already. Now with these 2 columns showing, if you want to format it a bit, you can maybe go to format and put bolding this and change the font color to black automatic, just for it to be a bit visible. Okay, just for it to be a bit visible. Okay, all right, let me go to print preview and see it. Beautiful. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's what the question asks us to do. So what else can I do? Let me also go to design view and select all of this and move it a bit. Okay, good. And move this one a bit too. Okay, beautiful. Print preview. Let's see. Okay, this is better. This is better. Okay, with this now, what's the next thing? Go to the instruction, and I see. So modify only the first two lines of the label so that the text is displayed in a 14-point font size, is center aligned, is displayed in bold. So I want us to read this. Okay, modify only the first two lines of the label. So only the first two lines that so to do that, let me return this. I selected this, I bolded everything, so let me remove everything from bold. So only the first two lines. So I'll select the first, the second, bold, and make it 14. Okay, when you make 14, you see that it's bigger. So all what you just need to do is select this last four and move them down a bit so that you can have space for this, and open up this one after the other. Okay, you see what I'm saying? Select these two, open it up. Okay, good. 14 and bold. So go to print preview to see that. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. You can see that. Then the next thing is according to the instruction, it says display in the 14-point size, is center aligned, and is display bold. So I want to do the center align. Go back again, design view, center align, select the two, and come to format and pick center align for the two. Then go to print preview to see it. If it says this, say okay. Okay, with this now, you see this thing is moving beyond the stuff, so you can go back and set that. Okay, so let me go back and set that. It's moving beyond what it should, so I can go and set this center align. Good. Let me check it again. Okay, it's still okay for this one, so it means the other one. Let me go back again. Maybe I should open this a bit to see. Okay, oh, it's not yet. So what I need to do, select all of this again to create some space. Move this a bit to create some space. Okay, okay, it's almost correct. So that means I can still adjust it a bit. Okay, then a bit. Let's see. Okay, this is perfect. You see now, this is perfect. All what you just need to do is to preview and do the right thing. So then the next thing will be, make sure data on every label is fully visible with no overlap of any field. Save and print your labels. For 10 marks, save and print your labels. So let me right click to save my labels. Then with this now, you notice that to see the two columns I told you, if you go to report view, you won't see it in two columns. If you go to layout view, you will see it in two columns. If you go to design view, you won't see it in two columns until you come to print preview. And when it brings this, just say okay, and then you can hit the print button, then click OK, and it will be printed. So doing this label will earn you 10 marks. So that means altogether for the database, everything is 30 marks. You can see that everything is 30 mark. Okay, beautiful. Everything is 30 mark. So then with task 4 printing evidence document, all the evidences you have taken for document production and for databases, you saved them and print just as you have printed your report and labels. So you can come here and say, okay, this is the evidence. Go to file and click on print. Now you must have ensured your candidate number, center number, and candidate name is displayed before you print, so that you can have all your printouts correct. And that's how we have come to the end of this paper on databases. So If you have any question, please drop it in the comment section. Like this video, share with other people, and do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's how you can encourage us to continue to explain excellently like this to help you do well in your exam. See you in the next video. Bye for now.